Yeah, anyone else? We have been using it, tools, machinery and other durable equipment. Okay, tools, machinery and other durable equipment. Let's say, Arihant, we have a screwdriver. In terms of computer, is it a hardware? Or let's say you have a bike, motorbike. Okay, no, the tools and machinery related to computer, you can say. Okay, so okay, we are also correct, not good attempt. Okay, so let me give you a very short definition of this. Okay, we'll come to this whiteboard. So, any tangible, what is tangible? Component of the computer is hardware. What is tangible component?
Anything which we can touch.
We can touch and feel. Okay, which you can physically touch and feel. So any part of the computer which you can touch and feel is your hardware. We don't need to bother about whether it is internal, external, or whatever. So it should be a part of the computer which you can physically touch and feel. So tangible means touch and feel. Okay. What is software? Intangible.
Non-tangible component of the computer.
That's intangible.
Oh, yeah,
correct.
intangible.
That is one part, tangible component. Okay. It's also called code. Okay. जो code बोलते हैं, that is also software, piece of code that you write. So now one more thing. Can we compare ourselves to the computers? Can we compare ourselves to the computers? Are humans like computers? Okay, if yes, then if you can explain.
Sir, in not commonly, but in different fields, you can compare ourselves to computers, sir.
Okay, in what way?
Sir, I don't know how to explain, sir.
So you don't know how to explain. How do we define? What are the primary components of a computer? Yes. Yeah, Arpit.
Sir, I would like to answer that first question first.
Okay.
Sir, computer machines are nowadays helping replacing humans by like note machines, which count the notes.
Okay. On the basis of usage, you are saying. Correct.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. No problem. Okay then. Anything else to add? Anyone? See, answer my this question. What are the primary components of the computer?
Input device, processor, and output device.
Yeah, correct. Input device, processor, and output device. Okay. Yes. Okay. Ankit maybe wanted to answer that same thing. Right. So these are the three primary components of the computer. Do we have these three components in our body?
Yes, sir.
Okay, raise your hand and then answer, Ullas. Okay, others may lose the turn. Okay, Ankit. What are
processor means it may be a brain. Processor can be considered as a brain.
Okay.
Then input and output. Input
don't have.
devices are our hands, or from where we can get the input to process in our brain.
Okay, so our hands are input devices.
Yes. Then output device can be our mouth or something like that, where we speak in terms of
Okay.
speaking.
Okay, so next Arpit. Okay, Ankit, you can
So
raise your hand down.
input devices are ears, which brings us something which we can process in our brain, and
Okay.
output is our basically mouth.
Okay, output is mouth and input is ears. Any Kevin?
So output device can be even our legs, like it helps us. No, we give it
Okay, so
our brain.
if you are angry, you kick someone, that is output.
No, sir.
Okay.
It helps us to run in other processes. Yeah.
Okay, and legs can also be output device. Okay, Ullas.
Sir, input can be anything like our senses, which we can
Correct.
take information.
100%. Good. Very good. So all our senses are input devices. They are used to collect data from the surrounding, or rather collects anything from the surrounding. How do you perceive from the surrounding? How do you know that outside there is a tree? How do you feel wind rushing? Okay, how do you feel warmth? How do you feel cold? How do you see things? How do you hear things? How do you know something is hot? All the sense organs only enable you to do that. That is, collect some values from outside, and then those things. Let's say when you see outside your window, you see a tree. You don't see a tree. You see something, some rays of light coming to your eyes, which is your input device. That is a sense organ. Okay, and those impulses are carried to the brain, and brain then processes those rays of light, and then brain says, see, what you are seeing is a tree. Okay, so it works in that way. So all your sense organs collect that, perceive some values from outside. They are your input devices. Your brain is the processor which collects the values from these received values or inputs from outside via the sense organs, then processes it, and then helps you in understanding what those things are and what those things meant. And then if you have to respond, then you will give output. How will you give output? Of course, through mouth and also through your gestures. Okay. At times when you say no, you nod your head, or you say yes, you nod your head. Okay. So person is getting something out of you. A person standing in front of you. So even your gestures and expressions are your output devices only, or a mechanism of sending output. So mouth, expressions, gestures are output devices. Your brain is input, you can say processor, and all your sense organs are input devices. Okay, so Aditya says we modify the generation of computers for the future. Okay, fine. Now we have seen computers have all these three things. So merely by having another question, merely by having input devices, your output devices, these primary components of the computer, is the computer going to work? My next question. Let's say we have all the three components required for working of a computer. Okay, so will the computer work? Yes, Ankit.
To a certain extent, it can work.
Okay, so that means to basic functionality it can do.
Basic functionalities can work, but if we want gaming or other sort of things,
No, let's not get into that. Let's not get into that. What I mean is any sort of, even the basic computer, can it start? Only if you are having input device, processor, and output devices. All
yes,
such conditions
to
are
a basic
satisfied.
extent. If you want to do something,
So Ankit believes yes, a very basic computer can start. Ullas.
Sir, we also need other components for it to function, like power supply and.
Let's say power supply also I give. All the hardware components are satisfied.
We also need something to interact, like the user can interact with the computer. Software, OS, operating system.
Operating system, very good. That's what I wanted to hear. So your computer is dead without operating system. If you do not have Windows, if you do not have Linux, if you do not have Mac OS installed on the computer, it's just like a box. Okay. So you cannot have a computer working merely by satisfying the hardware components. Okay, so in order to work, computer apart from hardware components must have a main software, which we commonly and popularly call as operating system. Okay, so we also need, apart from the primary components, we also need operating system for the computer to work, which will help you in which will help computer enable with the outside user, that is interfacing and all. So such things are such softwares are required, or pieces of code are required. Now we have seen that humans satisfy the basic hardware part. Do we have the software part? Then if we have, then our comparison with the computers will be complete. Then we can say yes, humans are also like computers. Do we have softwares in us? Yeah. What do you think? Do we have softwares?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yes. Yes, then what? Raise your hand and answer. Okay. Ullas.
Sir, we can think about our decisions and like think about the problem and respond to it.
Okay, so need some sort of thinking ability that we have
Yes.
to respond to the software. Okay. Anyone else? Yes, Aditya? Aditya, you're there? We develop a software by time, Arihan says. We modify. Okay. Yes, Aditya, anything from your side? Feelings, memories, Abhay beliefs. Okay, interpreting. Okay, Elam, you wanted to say something.
Sir, it is like we can say the brain.
Brain.
Kind of.
Brain. Didn't we compare brain to the processor? It's a physical part, right? Softwares you cannot touch. It's just like hardware. Processor is hardware. Like CPU you can touch. Softwares you cannot touch. They run in the circuitry. Okay, Kevin. We have software for example neurons.
Sir, I think
Okay. Neurons, you can see neurons are the physical part, Aditya. Yeah.
in the nervous systems.
Nervous system. Nervous system comprises of nerves, set of nerves. Okay. Can't we touch and feel it? Okay.
Yes, sir. It helps us to.
It helps. It can act as wires and all. Right. Okay, so feelings, memories, interpreting, okay, that is cognitive ability, consciousness. Okay, Ankit, yes?
Sir, we don't have a software, sir.
Okay, we don't have software. Now that puts an end to the conclusion, our discussion. If you say no, I cannot question any further. Okay, now I said one thing. One more time I'll ask and then again I'll, one thing I'll say and then again I'll ask. Without operating systems, computers are dead. Is there something without which we will be dead? Yes, Ankit.
Sir, is it heart? No.
Heart also you can touch and feel. Ullas.
Sir, a way to interact with our body. Like we can't tell it what to do.
No, but what is it? What without what you will be dead?
Don't know, sir.
There is okay.
I'll think in this.
Okay, okay. Arpit.
Sir, energy.
Energy. Okay. Kevin. Aditya believes brain. Brain is okay. Abhay believes consciousness. Okay, to some extent it is correct. Brain is again you can touch and feel. That's CPU processor, not the software. Okay, Kevin. Acha, Kevin said just now. Okay, fine. Consciousness. Okay, I'll tell you. I'm not going into any spiritual aspect or mythological aspect or religious aspect, but believe it or not, it's you can call soul. Okay, the soul of your computer that makes everything that is responsible for everything, your consciousness, your thinking ability. Okay, your feelings, your emotions. So once we say ki soul has left the body, the computer is, your body is dead. Similarly, the operating system leaves, the computer is dead. So you can compare that in a way. Okay, just for the explanation sake. So you cannot touch and feel it. It's just a concept. So similarly, your coding is something abstract which is running, and it cannot be touched and felt, but it is responsible for major working of the functionality of the or the very life and the essence of the operating system. So yes, humans can be compared to computers, even in case of softwares and your hardwares. Okay. Fine. Shall we proceed further?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So intangible part, it's also called the code. Humanware, what is humanware? Okay, we will not waste too much time on this definition, but it's simply the user who is using the computer. Computer. Now coming to these two definitions, what is data and what is information? Yes. Okay. Anyone, what is data and what is information? Or are both the terms same? Yes, Ullas.
Sir, data is like observing a particular problem and collecting like
Values.
information about it, and information is like
No. See, now you are mixing it. Collecting information about it. What do we mean by that? Okay. Anyways, that means your observations from outside you are telling we will say as data. Okay, I'll accept it. Ayush.
Sir, data is a collection of information.
Data is collection of information. Okay,
Yes.
but my question was, I don't understand these two terms, data and information. Okay, fine. Anyways, good attempt. Aditya says data is something which uses binary digits. Now the thing is, binary digits I don't know. Aryant.
So data is collection of facts and information is well more organized data.
अच्छा तुम last year थे ना मेरे class में. Okay. I might have taken it at some point. Okay. Good. That is the correct answer. क्या हुआ उल्लास? Why do you want access to my computer?
Sir, clicked it by mistake. Sorry.
Oh, that's all right. Okay. So yes, observation and collection of facts, correct. So data is random and unorganized facts and figures. Figures which make up your problem. इसी से तुम्हारा problem बनता है. Which is your problem that computer needs to solve. अरे सबको मेरा डेस्कटॉप का कंट्रोल क्यों चाहिए? क्या करोगे आयुष? ओके so now one more question. If I ask you what is 2 plus 2, you can answer one by one. Yes, Kevin.
4, sir.
4. Okay, Kevin believes 4. Ullas?
4, sir.
4. Ankit?
4, sir.
Okay. Fine. Anyone else? Yes, from girls I'd like to hear. Pooja, you are there. If you can answer.
Sir, it's 4.
4. Ruchika, what do you believe?
Sir, 4.
4. Arihant तो बोल रहा है कि
Sir,
डेटा है. अच्छा, I am not going into that. I am simply asking what is 2 plus 2. Okay. Anyone else to add something? No. Okay. My answer is it is 2 plus 2. It is not 4 or not 4. अगर 2 plus 2 4 है तो tell me what is this? What is this? Without using calculators, जितना calculators जितना तेजी से बताया था 2 plus 2, can you tell me with the same speed and accuracy? Yes. अरे अबे मल्टीपल आंसर्स का बात ही नहीं हो रहा है. मल्टीपल आंसर्स तो आएगा ही नहीं. Yes, anyone? Can you tell me with the same speed and accuracy what is the value of this? I have never written equal to. नहीं, equal to का बात ही नहीं कर रहे हैं. So no, 2 plus 2 is 2 plus 2 only. Okay, that means 2 plus 2 is your problem. Why you told 4 so fast? Because from your very childhood this thing you have been seeing and your brain has understood it is 4. The moment anybody shows you 2 plus 2, you say it is 2 plus 2. No, actually it is a problem. ये concept समझ जाओगे तो you will understand everything. It is your problem that needs to be solved using mathematics. Laws of mathematics. Which law of mathematics? Addition. ठीक है? So this is your problem, I said, and therefore this is your data. Data is what? A random and unorganized collection of facts and figures. Unorganized collection. तो इसमें facts and figures क्या है? देखो, 2 is a figure. This 2 is again another figure. And this is a symbol, sort of fact. ठीक है? Right. So, which suggests what? Mathematical operation. So, when this unorganized, we don't have the solution to this, is processed to a logical entity which can apply logic on it, like CPU or your brain, they will see, okay, 2 is one figure and another 2 is another figure. It is separated by a plus sign. Their plus means addition. So when you apply the laws of addition, they both have to be put in together and therefore they will become 4. Okay. So 2 plus 2 is an organized collection of facts and figures where plus suggests that mathematics logic has to be performed, and when this logic is performed and you arrive at a single answer, that becomes your solution. Okay. So this is your data. ये डेटा है तुम्हारा. कभी मत बोलो कि 2 plus 2 4 है. After doing mathematics, addition of mathematics, it becomes 4. So therefore, a random and unorganized collection of facts and figures that you provide as input to the computer, okay, they are your data. तो मतलब कि जो भी तुम इनपुट देते हो कंप्यूटर को, that is your data. ठीक है? So इंफॉर्मेशन क्या होगा? इसका अपोजिट organized.
Sir,
हाँ.
sir, can you explain it once again?
Saying whatever input you are providing to the computer which is not organized, and why you are providing input to the computer? So that computer can process it and solve it. What I am saying is the input that you give to the computer, see, it's made up of 2 things: data and instructions. All the inputs are made up of 2 things. This input is received via input devices. Forwarded to CPU, which processes it, and you get the output. Right. So here, what is your data? This 2 and this 2 is your data. What is your instruction? This symbol is your instruction. What operation has to be performed on this data? So when you send this data and instruction together from the input devices, CPU receives it, CPU sees data and plus instruction, then it adds them using the logic of mathematics, arrives at a solution. That solution is presented to the output devices, and the solution that you receive via output devices is your information. Is it making sense? Huh? Just give me a minute, somebody is at the door. Haji, बताइए, is it concept clear कि what is your data and what is your information?
Yes, sir.
So what I mean by data is unorganized facts and figures is that is a part of your problem. Now rather that forms your problem, which you present to the computer via input devices. Okay, so your input is formed of data and what operation has to be done on data. So that is instructions. So data are random facts and figures involved in your problem. Okay, and that together along with the instruction, what has to be done on the data forms your input, which is unorganized, random, has not much relevance to you. That's why it is your problem. You want a meaning out of it. So you present it to the computer via input devices. CPU processes this unorganized data, gets it organized, arrives at a conclusion, forwards it to the output, and that output is the conclusion is conveyed by the output devices. Okay, and that output devices conclusion that you receive from the output devices is the solution you are seeking, or is the organized data that you are seeking, and that is known as information. So what information, how we can define?
Organized collection of facts.
Or processed and organized data is your information. Okay. These terms are clear. See, this term you won't find anywhere in the syllabus or specific to it, but again and again we will be using it. Therefore, I have discussed it at the very go. Okay. Clear है तो बताइए. We'll proceed forward. Everyone.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Fine. We'll come to another aspect. Now, let's say user is there. Okay. User is there. User is having a computer. ठीक है, मान लो एक कंप्यूटर है, कीबोर्ड है. Okay, a mouse is also there, which is connected to the computer. Right. And user has a problem also. User has a problem also which computer can solve. How is user and computer can solve and give back the output through the monitor. So how will the user present the problem to the computer? Question is, how will the user present the problem to the computer. Any idea? Yes, let me come back. Okay, who all wants to answer? Yeah, Ankit.
Sir, through input devices.
Through input devices. Okay. Input devices and all are there. Fine. Ankit believes through input devices the user is going to.
Sir, specifically keyboard and mouse.
Keyboard and mouse. Okay. Even many things are there. Scanner.
Yeah.
All the input devices. See, what are the input devices and what are output devices? Examples I am not giving. You can explore on your own. Plotter is an input device or output device?
Output, I think.
Output. Its name is plot. That means it will be plotting something out of computer. Anything that comes out of computer is your output device. Okay. So that is correct. I'm not talking in terms of hardware. How will you communicate? Let's say there are two people in front standing. Let's say you know some solution to a problem. I have a mathematics problem. Okay, Ullas, I'll come to you, but just let me explain my question once again. Let's say I have a mathematics problem. I am not able to solve, but I am pretty sure that any one of you, maybe Pooja can solve or Ihant can solve. What I'll do is I'll go to Pooja. Now, what should I do now? She is there sitting right in front of me, or Arihant is there sitting right in front of me. So, how can I get my problem solved? I have my problem. What do I need to do? Common sense का बात है.
Sir, we'll communicate in a language which is common to both of us.
Correct. We will communicate in a language that can be mutually understood. Both of us can understand. Okay, good. So we will communicate in that way. Right. So in order to talk to the computer, of course, you are going to provide data using input devices. But your computer should be capable of understanding what you want actually from the computer. So both of you should know a language which both of you understand, or that is mutually understood. Right. So in order to talk to the computer, you need, of course, your input devices to present your problem to the computer. Okay. Let's say ki one human is there. I am an Indian. I know Hindi, English, Kannada, Tamil, Telugu, all the languages I know. But in front of me, there is a person who is Japanese. And Japanese person only knows Japanese language. Even if you go, if I go and speak in front of that Japanese person, will the Japanese person be not be able to receive the input? If you speak, are your words not going to enter the ears of the Japanese person?
Sir, he won't understand.
He won't understand. Yes, Kevin. I think you also meant the same. The input will be received, but that person won't understand. Correct. Similarly, if you do not know any language which you understand or the computer understand, okay, then even if you give your input through input devices, computer will say, I don't know, something like that. Okay, what you meant. For example, I can show you in a very layman terms. Let's say I open the CMD command prompt and I write hello. What does computer say? Hello is not recognized as an internal and external command, operable program or batch file. That means computer is saying, I don't know what you mean by that. Right. So you need to understand which language computer understands, and also you need to understand what computer wants to convey using that language. That means one language you should have in common with the computer, that computers also understand and you also understand. So therefore, in order to interact with the computer, what is again another thing that you need? Okay. So solution is A mutually understandable language. Between who? Between you and computer. Okay. Such languages are known as what are those languages called?
Programming languages.
Correct. Programming languages. Okay. So now is it clear what is the meaning of programming languages?
Yes, sir.
Programming languages
Yes, sir.
are a way or means of communicating with the computer so that you can present your problem to the computer, okay, and then computer can respond back with the or information or the solution. Okay, clear everyone, each of you, Ruchika and others?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. देखो डाउट हो तो तुरंत रोकना, don't ignore it. Okay. Now I'll come to programming languages. Programming. See, programming languages can be of few types. First is, you can say,
Sir, what is this, sir?
types of programming languages. There are different types of languages using which you can operate the computer and get your problem solved.
Okay.
Rather, I'll start with the very basic one. Machine or low-level languages. Then you have assembly languages, and then you have high-level languages. Okay. Now, see, when the first computers were built, okay, when the very first computers were built in early 50s, 60s, you can say, rather early 60s, so they used to operate on a language known as purely they used to operate on language known as machine language. Okay, this is a low level language. This is the language of computers जो कि तुम्हारा बाइनरी में वर्क करता है. It works on binary. ठीक है, zeros and ones के sequences में. Whatever you are writing to the computer, even if you want to write hello, the message inside the computer should go something like 011001110. So मान लो, I'm just giving an example. It's not that this will be hello. I'm just giving an example. So whatever you are trying to communicate to the computer should go in the binary form. And that is the level of that is the language which computers directly understand. Okay, so people were able to use and code the computers and present the problem and come up with softwares, but there was a problem. You know what was the problem? Can you guess? Okay, let me come to the screen. Yeah. Yes, Kevin.
Sir, it was not an effective means to communicate with the computer.
Why? Computer understands it fully.
Sir, but it was not comfortable for the people communicating to the computer.
Yeah, that makes sense. Good. Anything else, Ilham? Yes.
It was complex, sir.
It was complex. Arihant believes it
And
was
time
hard to learn for a person. Absolutely right. So yes, more or yes.
sir.
Correct. So yes, all of you are correct, and that is the answer also. It was easy for the computer to understand, but it was very difficult for the humans to learn and code. अगर वो let's say if you are writing a simple piece of program and there will be sequence of zeros and ones which will be somewhere in let's say 20,000 zeros and ones का sequences तुमने दे दिया है computer को which means something. Even if one digit goes wrong, zero या one कुछ भी गड़बड़ हो गया तो पूरा program crash कर जाएगा. So it was difficult to learn. It was easy for the computer to understand. That's correct. But it was difficult to program, to learn, to maintain, to debug. Debug means for correcting if there is some problem. So इस तरह के challenges आए थे. Okay. So it had some challenges. So what were the challenges? Complex, difficult to learn, and debug. Debug means correcting it. Okay, difficult to learn, debug. So such problems were there, etc. So debug, manage, okay, manage, etc. What are the problems? So with the evolution of computers, by mid of 70s, when the second generation computers were there, people came up with some better version of programming language which was known as assembly language. Assembly language में क्या होता था? Now let's say they started using English like words which made it a bit easier for programming. कैसे? So let's say if you have to add 2 and 3, they will give some instructions like add 2, 3. ठीक है? Still it was not very comfortable, but basic instructions उन्होंने English के words use करने लगे थे वो लोग. Add 2, 3, multiply के लिए they will write MUL 2, 3. So such way they started using languages, but it was still difficult. It was still difficult to program. क्योंकि though few English words were there, but the challenges were still there. It was still a complex language. So with the time, this language was further evolved, and by 90s, early 90s or mid 90s, when fourth generation computers came into being, they started using high level languages which were very user friendly. That means programmers could very easily program using it, which was very user friendly for programmers.
Sir, how did assembly language prove to be difficult, sir?
See, I cannot teach you that because assembly language is a different set of things. Here we will be seeing we will be mostly using English words, but still here we were using many computer concepts and direct computer terminologies. Okay, which were for learning that you had to understand many architectural concept of computers. Now even if you do not know what circuitry is there in the computer, you can still program. Okay, at that time it was not that easy. Just for now understand that this was sort of a bit easier but still challenging. Okay, because our scope does not allow us to go inside assembly level languages. Okay, but we will be learning this. This is very user friendly, easy to debug, easy to understand. But till this date, computer only understands machine level language. Okay, so how is it that you are programming in high level language, still computer is understanding? Any idea? Because computer does not understand high level language.
Sir, they'll translate it to language.
Yeah, correct. Of course, it has to be translated. So translating entity, okay, I'll write in the next page. Till this date, I'll write note. Till this date, till this date, computers only understand machine level language. Machine level language or low level language. Therefore, all the codes written in high level language are first converted to low level language before execution. That means before your program runs. Okay. Such softwares that do the conversion are of two types. Okay. They are either compilers or interpreters. इसके बारे में हम लोग पढ़ेंगे, not today. I've just given you idea. I'm not sure of the spelling, थोड़ा spellings देख लेना. Compilers and interpreters. P-R-E होगा, कुछ ऐसा होगा. Anyways, verify the spelling. So, whatever program you write in high level language must be converted to low level language so that the computer understands. And therefore, all the computers are having either compilers or interpreters, not both. At times it can be both or the mixture of two, but generally compilers या interpreters में से कोई एक होता है, which will convert whatever you have written in high level language to low level language for the computers to understand. ये पहले से computers में होता है, ठीक है? So now, is it clear how computer is able to understand today even if you are using high level languages?
Sir, so compilers and interpreters are inbuilt.
Not inbuilt. Whenever you download any high level programming language like Python, okay, along with that, its compiler or interpreter will come.
Okay.
Okay. So Python may basically you will be having Python interpreter. Okay, Python does not have compiler, it has interpreter. Okay. So with the programming languages, if you are downloading C, along with C, C's compiler will come. If you are downloading C++, C++'s own compiler will come along with the software that you download, setup. Okay. With Python, when you download it from the website, this interpreter also got downloaded with the software of Python. Actually, when you are downloading, along with the lines of Python code, this interpreter software also gets downloaded. Okay.
Sir?
Yeah.
So along with Python, when I downloaded it, there's something called idle, sir. IDLE.
Yeah, we'll come to that. Wait. That is not interpreter.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
Okay. So now I thought of completing today this, but थोड़ा रह गया है. Maybe programming next class से ही करेंगे. Okay. So now last 2 minutes I'll discuss something. So high level languages are, यहाँ पे देखो, just a minute. ये high level languages जो है, which is they are further of two types. ठीक है? High level languages are further of two types. They are procedural language and object oriented language. Don't ask me the meaning. बस जान लो. Meaning you will understand gradually. इसके एग्जाम्पल्स होते हैं, एग्जाम्पल्स हैं सी, ठीक है, और भी बहुत सारे लैंग्वेज है, आई एम जस्ट गिविंग यू वन पॉपुलर एग्जाम्पल। इसके एग्जाम्पल्स हैं C++, जावा, पाइथन, etc. Okay, so it's up to you which high level language you are going to learn. So if you are choosing a high level language, they can be of two types, either procedural language or object oriented language. Our course deals with Python. So how will you define Python now? It is an
object-oriented language.
Object-oriented language.
Object-oriented programming language. Programming language. It is compiler based or interpreter based?
Interpreter based.
Yeah, it is an interpreted language, we will write. Language. ठीक है? So we'll stop here today. अब ये पूरा कहानी समझ में आ गया. I just wanted to give you a background कि why we are starting with Python. So कंप्यूटर से हमें बात करना है, so that we need to talk to computers. Okay, one more minute and then we'll conclude. We need to talk to computers. I'm just summarizing what we discussed today. We have a problem. We have a computer, but we need to talk to the computer so that we can present our problem. है ना? यहाँ पे we are there, problem is there, computer is there, but we need to discuss with the computer. So how we can discuss or present our problem to the computer via input devices? We should understand a mutually understandable, or we should know a mutually understandable language, that is programming languages. Now it's up to us to get our problem solved. What type of programming language we can choose? Nobody is choosing machine level language these days because it is very challenging, complex, tough to program, code, manage, maintain and debug. Assembly level language, though a bit easier, but it still is quite complex. Okay, but we are using the most evolved form of programming language, that is high level languages. High level languages may you have option so that you can talk to the computer and present to the computer which type of programming language you will choose. So you can either go for procedural type of high level language or object oriented type of high level language. So in our course, Python is dealt with, which is an object oriented programming language. Also we have seen that all the programming languages written in high level languages must be converted to machine level language or low level language, because that is the only language which computer understands. So therefore, an entity is there or a software is there which helps you convert the codes of high level language to machine level language before execution. Okay, so such thing comes bundled up with the programming language that you download. They can either be compilers or interpreters. In our case, Python, which is object oriented programming language, high level language, is an interpreted language. आज इतना ही देखे हैं. कल से we are going to start with what is ideally what will be the exact this coding वो display करना, Python को use करना हम लोग कल से शुरू करेंगे, coding part. Okay, so this was mandatory. अब इसके बाद theory नहीं आएगा, जिस क्लास में हम लोग कभी Python नहीं करेंगे. From this day onwards we are always going to do something in coding. Okay, चलिए ठीक है. Just go through this. This is theoretical but very important concept. We'll wrap it up here. Okay. Any doubt?
Sir, you share it, Michael.
Sorry?
You'll share it?
Yeah, I did. No, last day also I shared. Yeah, attendance I am downloading. Thank you. Just let me stop the recording.